Hey guys, here I am with my first ever cosplay focused video. Okay, now I live in Austin, Texas, and I've always done costumes for Halloween because I didn't always live in Austin. I lived in a smaller city called McAllen, Texas, most of my life, and there wasn't a lot to do with cosplay other than Halloween. Unless you traveled around, which I never, I wasn't into the whole circuit. I didn't know too much about it. But I love doing costumes. Obviously, I love a lot of geeky stuff. You can see back there. Love Disney, love Sailor Moon, love DC Comics, Marvel Comics, all kinds of stuff. I usually would go all out in a very cosplay kind of way on Halloween, in the sense that I would, you know, make really good costumes, and I wouldn't just go buy a packaged costume or anything. I'm not great at sewing clothing. I can sew other things. I sewed a lot of props and stuff. Like, for example, one year I was, for Halloween, I was, um, uh, well, one year I was the genie from Disney's Aladdin, and I did sew that entire costume, but certain aspects of it that were more clothing like I had a little help with. But I was going to say, one year I was Billy Peltzer from Gremlins, and I made plush gremlins hanging off of my body. I wish I still had all that stuff because that was a pretty cool costume. I might do that again someday. They didn't appreciate that costume as much in McAllen, Texas. I think they would appreciate that costume in Austin, Texas. but and I was much slimmer at the time. Still wasn't slim enough for that costume, but but this year I'm working on a special costume, and I'm starting to get out more with my cosplay stuff. I don't have cosplay friends. To be honest, I've been in Austin for a few years now. I don't know a soul. Um, for a while, I knew a girl that I was spending time with for a while, but that ended. I don't know anybody in Austin. I've met a few cosplay people, but it seems to be kind of hard to get into the circuit of that. And I don't really, at the moment, have a lot of funds. Uh, I'm an artist, and I'm not really making a lot of money at the current time on art. I have a data entry job, so I'm limited with my funds. Um, but I've met a few people in the cosplay world. And there's some hardcore cosplayers here in Austin. It doesn't seem like there's a lot, like a huge community, but there's a solid community. I'm a very shy person. I have a very hard time making friends. So working my way into becoming a part of this community, I don't know if I'll ever be able to. I'm also older than your general cosplayers. I'm a very young looking guy, except for when I let this grow out, because I've had gray hair ever since I was in high school, and it especially comes out in my beard, but and right here. But I take care of that. But in my family we get gray hair in high school. Not that I'm not old enough at this point to get some gray hair, but yeah. So getting into the cosplay world, a little tricky for me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to ever be part of it. I've gone to a couple of comic conventions not in costume. Last year, or maybe it was the year before that, I went to my first cosplay event in a costume. I wore a Wreck-It Ralph costume that I had put together, and it was a pretty good costume. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty cool. And while I've been in Austin, I've done a few costumes that were pretty good. I've mainly just worn them on Halloween. But like I said, I went to an event at Dragon's Lair Comics, which was sort of a cosplay function that they had. But again, I said hi, met a couple of people, and then I just pretty much sat around or stood around there because I didn't have anyone to interact with, and I didn't really know what to do. I'm really bad in social situations, in the sense that I don't know what to say to people. I really don't. But I do love cosplay. And I have a really and to be honest, if I have a fetish for anything, it is for costumes. But Right now, I have been working on a cosplay that is going to be a long-term project. Long-term because a big part of this cosplay, because I personally am a bit of a perfectionist, I'm an artist, so I tend to want to look like whoever I'm cosplaying, and I can only do that to a certain degree. You know, you don't have the right nose, or you don't have this and that, and I don't really know much about prosthetics or anything like that. But for this cosplay, and for a lot of cosplays I've wanted to do for a long time, I'm gonna have to lose like 200 pounds to get this costume the way I want it. So I'm working on that. I also have to grow my hair out. But this costume is going to be for a character from the TV show Once Upon a Time, which I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of several TV shows. That's one of my favorites. I'm also a huge Disney fan. If you're a cosplayer, especially a local cosplayer, I'm a huge Disney fan. I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan. Disney is my main thing. Star Wars is probably my second main thing. And some of those costumes, I've always wanted to do a werewolf Jedi. You know how they have the wolf species? There's actually a wolf Jedi that's not canon, but from one of the animated shows, the hand-drawn Clone Wars show. I would love to do a costume of him someday. I've always wanted to do an Indiana Jones costume. I look a little like Indiana Jones when I'm in better shape. But yeah, I want to be Mr. Gold from Once Upon a Time. So I'm working on that costume, and it's going to be a while, and I don't know, I would like to, I have a time frame in mind, and I don't even want to talk about it because the idea of losing this much weight in this amount of time is crazy, but it's a fair amount of time. I have several months, but we'll see how that goes. I mean, we're going to do the best we can, without doing anything crazy. But we're going to have to buy a suit and everything like that. But I have bought a few things already. So what I'm going to do with these videos is I'm going to be sort of reviewing or showing things that I've purchased to put together whatever I'm currently working on. I'm sure a lot of cosplay people do that. I haven't even really watched very many cosplay videos on YouTube, but I assume that's how they go. Now, they probably, I know some people who cosplay online. I have a lot of online friends right now, and it's not that I haven't had friends in my life, but I haven't had very many, but they've been good friends. I was the best man at my best friend's wedding last year, but I had to travel for that. See, I moved away, and now I don't know anybody, and it's really hard for me to, especially since I'm not in school anymore, really hard to make friends. And the place where I work, I swear I'm the only person who doesn't have kids and everything. But yeah, I'm working on this Mr. Gold costume, and I have about 3 items so far that are just sort of props. One of them is definitely something I'm going to use anytime I put on this costume. The other 2 items, one of them I'm likely to carry around all the time. The other one is what I'm going to show you today. The other 2 I haven't shown yet. I'm going to follow up this video later on with videos about the other 2 items. What I'm going to show you today is an item that I ordered that is specifically for photo shoots, which, I'm sort of newbie at this as far as like being a real cosplayer. I'm going to be doing any real photo shoots, but I might go somewhere with my sister who's also working on a Once Upon a Time costume. She's really great with costumes too. And she's gonna do an Emma costume. I am doing this Mr. Gold costume, and what I have here today is an item I bought on Etsy, and it is the Dark One dagger. Now, again, this is not like a cosplay safe item. This is not like made of plastic or wood or anything. This is an actual dagger. It's the only time I've ever bought an actual weapon. Now, how serious of a dagger it is, I don't know too much about things like this. Would it break if you, tried to use it in some way? I don't know. But it's pretty impressive. This is available on Etsy, and there's one other video on YouTube that is how I found out about this. And that video is an unboxing video, but it doesn't, nobody says anything in the video there's not a lot of information. I'm going to try to give you all the information that I can about how to get one of these yourself. Be safe. You know, this is just for, again, I'm just getting it for like when I get this costume done to take pictures with. And my sister in her Emma costume will also probably use this to take some pictures too. You know, it's not something I'm going to take to any conventions if I ever go to any, or, you know, like we kind of want to wear these costumes at Renfest, in the Texas Renfest or somewhere like that. You know, I'm not going to take this dagger with me to any of that stuff. But I thought this item was gorgeous and very cool, and I just wanted it anyway, and that it would be great for some photo shoots. And after I show you this, I'll talk about the other 2 items that I have so far. But I'm going to do those in separate videos, but I'll let you know what they are at the end of this video. So anyway, this is from Etsy, and I'll let you have a look at it before I talk about price and all that stuff, because you have to see this, and when you see it, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I want that, you know, I don't care, you know, take my money now. So this is the box. Already, this is a gorgeous thing. This is a box like made to resemble the book, you know, the fairy tale book from Once Upon a Time, the TV series on ABC. And it's just gorgeous. I don't know how this person makes this stuff. This looks like something you would order or something you would buy at Disney World or somewhere, you know. It's just beautiful. And, you know, very clever. It just says once, so they're not getting sued or anything. I don't know. But it's gorgeous. And it's got, I guess, a magnetic clasp here. So you just lift that and you open it up. And when I purchased this, I think there was some popcorn styrofoam inside. Now there are these marks here because that's from the dagger's handle just rubbing on this. Because they really, if there's anything they should add to this, they should have like a thin layer of foam or something to prevent that. Because it's a beautiful box. But I noticed on the other video that it also had those marks. But there's the dagger. You know, just from shipping, it probably moves around and ends up rubbing on there. But here it is. As you can see, it is beautiful metal. It's got this, I didn't know what this handle was going to be made of, but it's nice and firm stuff. I'm going to take this out of the box to show you. And it's very heavy. But here we go. Got it out of the box. There's the way, you know, you've got this sort of cut area that fits the dagger perfectly. And that's the box. I'm going to put the box aside now. Gorgeous box. Now, here's the dagger. As you can see, it says Rumpelstiltskin. It's got this, you know, the detail is just amazing. You've got the red jewels here and here. This handle, like I said, I didn't know what this handle was going to be made of, but it is a nice hard metal, or I guess that's metal. I don't know what that is. This is metal for sure. It's not sharp. It's not pointed, which is great, you know, because, I mean, you know, what are you going to do with this? Come on. This is for show. It's for a collector. It's for somebody who loves the show. Just beautiful. I don't know how they do this. I really don't. And it's just gorgeous. It says Rumpelstiltskin. This is a perfect replica. And I doubt they're ever going to sell a perfect replica. So this is the place to get it. Go to Etsy and get this. Gorgeous. Now, I mentioned to the seller in the comments section, if you guys ever make one that says Emma Swan, my sister would love it. Beautiful, beautiful dagger. Real metal. Now, a few people had complained that they got one, and they still loved it, but they got one that the blade was a little bit loose in the handle. Now, and one person said I let them know, and they let me return it, and it was super easy, and they're super nice. And I can say they're super nice myself, because when I bought mine, you know, in the notes section, I mentioned, please make sure that I don't get one with a loose blade, because I heard a couple of people complain about that. And they were still happy customers. They were just mentioning, you know, It is just, it's so gorgeous. And then they were so nice. And when the item came, it had a little note. There was a printout, and it had the note that I had given them underlined, and where it said, "Please make sure I get a blade that's in there that's not loose." And then they said, "Please let us know how you like it," which I did. I commented back and I said, I love this dagger. It is gorgeous. I'm not a big weapon person. I'm not going to be ordering a bunch of daggers, but this for if you're a fan of the show, if you're going to cosplay and you just want this for photos, this is an amazing, amazing thing. I don't know how they did this. I mean, people know how to do it. But I mean, and it's not sharp. It's totally, I mean, yeah, I mean, you still probably can't walk into a into a convention with this, but it's, I mean, if you were running with this and you tripped, it'd still go inside your body and kill you. But but it's not sharp and it's not pointed or anything. It's so gorgeous. My gosh. Now the price of this is $125, and the shipping is $25, so you're paying $150. Well worth it, as a collector, as a fan. Totally, totally worth it. I don't splurge that much very often. I don't have money to splurge very often. But this was it was worth it, and I was excited, about this cosplay. So I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy with this purchase. This is from a seller on Etsy, whose name is Fantasy V Team. Fantasy, capital F, capital V, capital T, Team, no spaces, Fantasy V Team. I'll put it, I'll write that out in the little comment section there, description section. But, yeah, and right now they don't have one available. I guess I got the only one, but I'm not the only one who's ordered this, so I'm sure it'll be available again soon. Go to Fantasy V Team, add them to your favorites on Etsy. This is the first thing I've ever bought on Etsy. I've always known about Etsy. I've never explored there. I should be selling stuff there, to be honest. I'm an artist, but and I might start. But yeah, this is amazing. And there's a lot of people that on Etsy that sell cosplay safe versions, made out of different things, foam or wood or whatever. But this is the real deal, man. This is amazing. It's so worth it. Go on Etsy. There's a lot of people who reviewed it, who loved it, who bought it, and they're super nice. If you get one that's loose, you can return it, and they'll give you one that's not, or they'll fix it or whatever. Good stuff, guys. So this is not the first item that I bought. It was like the second, maybe the third. But I'll show you the others soon in follow-up videos. The other two items that I have so far, I have Mr. Gold's cane, which I picked up on eBay, and I'll show you that in another video. And then I have the teacup, the chipped teacup, which a lot of people sell it on Etsy. They make them themselves, and Hot Topic sells a version. I, not too long ago, picked up the Hot Topic version, all excited that I had my chipped cup, even though I was like, this looks kind of big, and I showed it in a video before. It's way too big. It's a huge coffee mug. I'm going to be using it for hot chocolate. But I found out that you can buy the actual teacup that they use for, the show Once Upon a Time. You can buy that on eBay, and I'm going to do a video about it. And basically, you have to paint on the blue decorations, and I'm going to show about that. Talk about that. And you can buy that on on eBay, and it's not that expensive to buy the real cup that they use. So I'm going to talk about what the cup is, and what kind of teacup to get and everything on a video that I'll probably do this week. I'm trying to do as many videos as I can this week, trying to catch up on some stuff because I was sick for a week and a half with bronchitis, which I still am getting over. But yeah, so this is my first of these cosplay videos, but come back for the other two, and then we'll see, you know, what comes after that. So yeah, here it is, Rumpelstiltskin's dagger, very cool. And you know, if you like this video, comment if you want to ask me some questions or anything. Subscribe and like and comment. And I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Tumblr, Twitter, Nathan Lee James. Okay, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some good information out of it. Very cool Rumpelstiltskin dagger from Once Upon a Time. If you wanted to know anything else about it, just let me know, and I'll cover it, you know, in one of the other videos. Okay, so long for now, guys.